Good afternoon, namaste, or adab. A very happy International Women's Day to all. Today, we honor not just the achievements of women across the world, but also their resilience, compassion, strength, and unwavering spirit. This day is a reminder that empowered women empower societies. Health, balance, and self awareness form the foundation of a true empowerment. So, in this today's special conversations unplugged Shakti Talks, please join me in warmly welcoming our esteemed guest, Miss Rashmi Ramappa, a certified yoga trainer and holistic nutritionist. Her work beautifully integrates the ancient wisdom of yoga with the science of nutrition. Through her practice, she has inspired many women, many people to reconnect with their bodies, restore balance. Yes. I'm sorry, I lost the connection for a minute. So I was telling you her about her practice, her work that she has inspired many women and many men, many children to connect with their bodies, restore balance, and prioritize self-care. So please join me in welcoming Rashmi today. Hello, hi Rashmi, how are you?
I'm good, Shweta. Thank you so much for having me. Namaste to everyone.
Great to have you here, Rashmi, and thank you so much for sparing this time for us. This is really a very precious moment for us that you have joined us today to our platform. Thank you so much, Rashmi.
Most welcome. My pleasure.
And we have loads and tons of questions to ask you because somewhere I believe that people are becoming very aware, and especially women now are becoming very aware about about their health, about the self care, and a lot of other things. So let's get started and let's just talk about health, talk about self care, and talk about a lot of other things. So, my
Absolutely.
first question to you is Rashmi, that what inspired you to choose yoga and nutrition as your life's calling? Was it a personal transformation, a challenge, or a deeper inner pulling?
Awesome question to begin with. Well, a very happy International Women's Day. I would like to wish you, Shweta, and everyone,
Thank you
live
so
with that.
much.
Most
Thank you,
welcome.
Rashmi.
Well, okay, that's a very good question to begin with how we got into this stream and why is it so important. So I would say, Shweta, all the three are interconnected. So whether
Right.
it is a personal transformation, a challenge, or a deeper inner calling, I would say all the three in my case. So there
Right.
was a challenge early in my life during my teen years that led
Okay.
me, made my way towards a personal transformation. And then with that, I got a deeper calling to explore and understand and learn more about this.
Wow, that's lovely. And that is what you're sharing with others today also.
Absolutely. I
So,
mean, after understanding so much, you can't hold yourself. The desire to
yes,
share with others what actually helped you, you want to say it out loud. When you see someone else suffering or in that stream, you like, no, no, it's not that difficult. There's way out. So don't
right,
be stuck there. So that's
right,
the desire. I
absolutely.
am here today as a certified trainer in yoga and in nutrition.
Wow, wonderful. And somewhere I also believe that it's a woman who is there behind the success and, the achievements of other women as well. So we can do a lot for others also, not just for
Absolutely.
ourselves. So
Yes.
you're doing a wonderful job, Rashmi. As you said that you encountered few issues there in when you were a teenager. So was there any defining turning point in your life that completely changed the way you understood health and well-being? Because that is something very important because we know what is right, but implementing that particular thing in the life is something very, very difficult for women, especially.
True.
So we
You're
want to
right.
know about that turning point that happened in your life, which changed the outlook and the perspectives and everything.
You're right, Shweta. When you said all of us know what is right, all of us know when we make choices, we know what
Yes.
is good, we know what is bad. But the implementation part comes only when we run into trouble. When somebody
Yes.
else is in trouble, we'll say, "Eh, it's that easy to come out." But when we are
Mhm.
there, That's when we know how small implementations make a big change.
Absolutely. I
So
agree.
yeah, the turning point, I would say, again, I would come back to my teen days. I am a very active child from my childhood days. So I've been cycling, dancing, and I was leading the volleyball team in my school. All said and done, physically active. But in my teens, I ended up having PCOS, which was
Okay.
a new thing back then. I think it was
Right.
very new to the medical industry as well. So they had no solution approach towards it, but it's very sad to know that a child like a 13-14-year-old kid put on contraceptive pills for managing the PCOS. So it's
Yeah.
not
Oh,
even a solution. So those
right.
days worked on contraceptive. So they
Mm-hmm.
just try to see how you get your periods every month. That's it. So there was no
Mm-hmm.
solution. So that's how it started. Still, my active lifestyle didn't change, but it caused being in contraceptives continuously for years together. It definitely has a long term effect on the health. I'm sure you'll agree. And a lot of
Yes.
women these days also know about it. So it is not something new now, but back then it was like nobody is aware of anything. So
Right.
that when I had this, from then I had this complications of putting on weight and
Mm-hmm.
acne issues, mood swings, which I had no idea why is it happening to me.
Right.
So as I aged, like I was during my conception time, the terrible time of my life came then, because I
Okay.
had no idea how much I had damaged my body in the name of medical treatment for my PCOS. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I
That's right.
had a lot of fertility issues. I had to undergo a lot of treatments. So once I conceived my first child, it was like, it's like protecting in a shell. It's like, oh my
Mm-hmm.
God, I got something precious. Now it is really my duty to take care and hold it and sustain it and get it.
Yes.
Like, it was like that. But once I delivered my first daughter, I have two kids. So I delivered my first daughter. So I said, my God, what is this? Your life changed after the delivery. And again, because it was the first daughter, there was another, expectation from the society and everyone around you, like, go for the second one. I said,
Mm-hmm.
no, I know what it is. I know what I have gone
Right.
through. So if I'm going for a second child, it has to be in the normal way. Otherwise, no.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
That was a phase I really gave time for myself. I slowed down. I made better choices with food. I started to take exercising more seriously. I was also doing, but more seriously. And I started to live more mindfully. So
Right.
those, I would say, the personal transformation happened. So the challenge,
Mm-hmm.
personal transformation took a lot of years for me to encounter that.
Mm-hmm.
When I started doing all these things, there was definitely a shift in me. Whether the way I think, I feel, physically, mentally, emotionally, everything changed. So that's when I conceived my second baby and natural delivery, everything. I was so happy. I then understand the power of inside out. It is not getting support from outside, but how do I respond to it from inside?
Yes,
So it's
that's more
not only
important.
the
Absolutely.
body, mind, it's everything together. So I would say that was a transformation phase, the challenge to transformation, and then that gave me a way to understand deeper about health and nutrition, everything.
Right. So that was actually a big challenge that you have faced, and many of us faced at that time when we were not much aware of the resources. The resources were less, the knowledge was less, the awareness was less at that time. So, but in today's time, we see that there are so many multiple videos that are running around, and they are talking about the health. They are talking about self care. Still, I feel there are women who are facing a lot of physical, lot of emotional challenges also. So what kind of challenges now you have seen, like you have encountered, you have taken care of so many people during this journey, you have transformed their lives as well. So when you meet them, then what kind of physical and emotional challenges you see that people share with you that they are facing in today's time as well?
Absolutely. I mean, back then it was very few. Now, with today's time, the list has really become too long.
So
So
this
I
is
have
too contradictory. Earlier, the awareness was less and the challenges were also there. And now, even with the increase of awareness, the challenges have also increased. Maybe because
Absolutely.
we are now more aware of the things that are happening inside our body. Earlier, we were just, looking at the exterior thing. Okay, this happened or that happened. ये हो गया, वो हो गया face पे या जो भी है, जो major होता था. अब छोटा
Correct.
छोटा 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 भी we notice everything that is happening inside our body. So awareness is taking out all the small little things also out from our body, that ये भी देखो, ये भी होता है, ये भी जानो, ये भी समझो. So I'm
Absolutely,
sorry to
absolutely.
interrupt you in between,
No,
but
no, no. It is so apt. Yes, yes. As you rightly said, I'll come to that point also. With awareness, the challenges has also increased, is what you say. I would
yeah,
also say with awareness, you can see a lot of solutions.
absolutely.
That is also there.
Yes,
So,
that's true.
yes, I
Absolutely.
mean, dealing with a lot of clients from the nutrition side, and also, helping out a lot of students of my yoga classes. So the common issues, what I see are the hormonal imbalances. It is the common thing. As I mentioned,
Hmm.
PCOS. I clearly remember my doctor saying 1 in 1,000 girls get this. Today,
Right.
I'd say easily 4 in 5 girls have it. So it is
Absolutely.
that it's become that common. It is really alarming, and how people take it as a norm. It is not normal. Okay,
Hmm.
so people
That's
come
true.
with hormonal issues, thyroid disorders, irregular menstrual cycles. That is with the hormones. Then comes to emotional health is the stress. They're really worried and depressed for the every small thing. The mood swings which they don't understand. The anxiety, a lot of things, and lifestyle
Hmm.
diseases. I would definitely want to mention, as we assume that we are too busy in today's world, but it is only the mind working. Your body is really got into the sedentary mode, right?
Right.
So
Hmm.
lifestyle diseases are like at its peak. Though we
That's true.
all appear to be so productive, are we really productive is the question we should all ask ourselves.
Hmm.
Okay, so lifestyle
Absolutely.
diseases is another thing. Nutritional deficiency. I mean, there's all hype about the nutrition. We will talk about it as we go forward. But definitely, that is also a reason. Nutritional deficiency, reproductive health issues. I did mention. So it is such a common thing. I have many women coming saying that I want to take up yoga because I want to conceive.
Hmm.
Many, and I have PCOS issues. Can you heal through yoga? So a lot of students come with that. And body image. Now with our social media being so much active, everybody is worried about how they look and feel to the camera.
Right. That's true.
Right? So it is not about how do I appear myself, rather than that we look at, do I look good in the camera?
How
So
how
that
are
is,
people looking at me? What do they think when they look at me?
so we are always placing our brain outside and trying to see ourselves. Am I looking fine for the
Yeah.
world? Is the world
Yeah.
perceiving me right? So those are definitely causing a lot of emotional stress. Mental health is going on at us.
Right.
And
That's
last one I would really point out is the sleep, the most underestimated but a big, big issue. Sleep.
that's
All
true. That's
these things are the things I frequently come across when my clients do mention about the health issues, whether it is physical, mental, or emotional. I see these are the major factors.
Yeah, that's true. So we have discussed, and an outline kind of a thing, the problems that the women are facing, and they do face a lot of problems through their journey from puberty, from pregnancy to motherhood, and then menopause, and so many, all these stages. So, how does yoga, when we talk about yoga, we have talked about the problems. We now let's come to the solutions. So, when we talk about yoga, how do you think that yoga support and empower women at each of these stages?
Okay. So, when you say yoga, how does it support? From the yoga perspective, as a yoga person, I will say yoga is for everyone, right from womb to tomb. This is a
Right.
statement we make. So, before you're born until you die, yoga is for everyone.
Hmm.
Okay. So,
That's
yes, so it doesn't matter, right? You mentioned about puberty. I want to go back. So, from your birth, while you're in your mom's womb, so we
hmm.
do have yoga. Prenatal classes are there. We do Garbha
Yes.
Samskara. We do baby connections. A lot of aspects through yoga can be incorporated into the mother and the child. So, right
Right.
from there, so how do you support yoga and how do you support the mother through yoga with good delivery? methodology, how do you prepare mother, everything, is supported through yoga. And
Hmm.
moving on to puberty, we have a lot of kids classes, we have teens classes. I have trained a lot of teens who really find a lot of difference. And I'm so glad my daughters are also participative. So it is
Great.
nice that as a family we are into this, and I've never implemented it on them. It's just what they see is what they replicate.
Exactly, exactly.
So for women, I would say at least one woman in the family pick it up now. She is enough as a wonderful example for the
She
whole
changes
family.
everything in the house, in the society, everything around her. She changes everything. She has that power to change everything.
Yes, yes.
That's true.
And you don't even have to say, just live
Yes.
it. Just live it and rest will be taken care.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So
So
from puberty now we move on to pregnancy and then
pregnancy,
menopause.
yes, pregnancy, we do have the prenatal and the postnatal yoga. So we support before the delivery also. I also have a prenatal, student. So we take
Mhm.
special classes. There are particular asanas. There's a way, depending on which trimester you're in, there is a way to prepare your body for that. So
Right.
definitely yoga helps there. It'll calm your entire nervous system. It'll give you postures where you can strengthen your muscles to support your delivery. So that is
Okay.
with the pregnancy and the delivery thing. And
Hmm.
after the delivery, depending on what your doctor advises, we usually say you can resume after 3 months. So after
Right.
3 months of delivery, you can start off yoga. So we have a gentle transition where you slowly build yourself mentally and then move towards the
Hmm.
physical body. So yoga definitely supports. And moving on to menopause, we definitely have a lot of styles. For women today, they want varieties. So yoga is yoga, but just to cater to the people now, we have Ashtanga yoga, Vinyasa yoga, Power yoga, Face yoga. You name the issue, we have the yoga style for it.
Right, right.
So
Wonderful, wonderful. So we are talking about the physical transformation, the what a woman goes through in all these stages. And when we talk about stress, that is something unavoidable, and that is I think the biggest problem of all when we talk about it, the emotional stress, the mental stress, and psychological issues and all. So how does yoga help women to build that resilience and that inner balance? Because from my experiences, that what I have seen, for me meditation has definitely worked a lot to bring that balance. That is something I personally feel from inside, that calmness, that stability inside, coming, that settling of the things inside is something very important. So how does yoga help in that, in settling the things inside, the chaos and which is there inside your mind and heart? So how does it help? And also, how can we incorporate that in our lives? Because that is something very difficult. Because we talk about it, we listen to all the good things, and then we are not able to incorporate the things in our life, which is the biggest hurdle in our life. So how to
absolutely.
overcome that also?
Yes. So as you rightly said, yoga, you have experienced meditation, you know the calmness and the chaos. But
Right.
if I generally tell out everyone, come on, let's meditate, I am sure 80% will drop off then. Okay.
Yes.
So everybody feels yoga is boring, slow.
Hmm.
It is not for me yet. I am not yet there. I still have my energy. I still have my life. So yoga is like once I hit 40, 50, let me try yoga. No, it is not that. The difference between any form of workout to yoga, why only yoga breath brings you to mental calmness is the breath aspect in yoga.
Hmm. That's
So,
right.
which is one factor which any other form of workout misses out, which only
Hmm.
yoga picks up. Okay, so
Absolutely.
try your aerobics, try your. I am definitely not demean anything, and I've tried all of it. I've done all of it. I still do a lot of Zumba aerobics, weightlifting. I still do,
Hmm. Hmm.
but
Hmm.
yoga catches me. Why? Because it is much deeper. Here with yoga, we are not tackling building muscle or reducing our weight. It is not that. It is you're actually going deeper inside you. Let me talk physically. You're working your organs out. You're not working your muscles out. You're literally working for your lungs. You
Yes.
can
Yes.
feel the lung stretching. You can feel your intestine getting twisted when you actually practice the right kind of yoga.
Hmm. Hmm.
So it
Hmm.
is much deeper than your fat and muscles. You're going towards the organs. right?
Absolutely, I
And
agree.
when you're going there, you go with awareness. You're not just going like one, two, three, four. It's not that. You go slow and deeper. So that is
Hmm.
where your breath plays an important role. That is the difference what yoga can bring in. Now, the second challenge, as you said, how do I implement?
Yeah.
Right? So, how do I implement is the best thing I could say is watch your breath. The moment you feel you're exhausted, you're like irritated, still relax and just observe your breath for 3 counts. Just observe 3 rounds of your breath. How am I breathing? Just analyze. Breathe a little more deeper and see how you feel, instantly changing in your mindset,
Hmm.
instantly calming your nervous system. It's that simple. It's the breath, the key.
That's
Okay.
true. That's
So how
true.
do we do it? Between the meetings, sit down. It's okay if you have 30 seconds, you have 10 seconds per breath. Come on, take three breaths.
Hmm.
Mindfully watch it. That's it. When I'm very tired, sitting in the desk for long hours, just take your hands and twist. Wow, you should try it and see the relaxation it gives you. It's just do a little bit of neck movements. Just start something very basic. And this will
Right.
not need a lot of preparations or a lot of awareness. Just a stretch. While you're doing here, Shweta, if you could just open up your arms, stretch out, take one.
I'll do that with you.
Yes, yes. Please take one deep breath in. Now, as you breathe out, hug yourself. Just hug yourself. Bring your hands together, hug yourself. Breathe out. Let's do it one more time. Inhale, open up, stretch out. Breathe in. Exhale, hug yourself. Tighter and harder. The most beautiful person in the world. Hug yourself. Look at
That's
the
so
smile.
sweet.
Look at the smile on your face, Shweta. That says more. How long did we take it?
Yeah.
How long did we take to get this change? Get this smile on your face.
Oh, wonderful. I loved it. I loved it.
That's it.
That brings
Just
so much closer to yourself because we are looking at the outer world. We are not looking inside. What is there inside us, we are not looking at that thing. So that is
absolutely.
something which is taking us inwards rather than, looking for things outwards to be
Absolutely.
stable and be happy. Thank you so much. That 1 minute, even not even 1 minute, I think few seconds only you did it, and it was refreshing. Wow,
I'm
wonderful.
so happy to see that smile on you, Shweta.
Thanks to
Excellent. So
you
only
for
thing
that.
I will just keep up small acts, for every day,
Yes.
pick up one small act and keep up the consistency. That's all. Do this every time you sit for a meeting, you finish a meeting, do this. That's it.
Hmm.
That's where you start.
Right. Even small little steps that we take ahead for ourselves, they're going to cover a long distance and take us somewhere else only, which
Better
we'll
than
realize
nothing,
later.
but small things really changes.
They do matter. They do matter a lot. So from yoga, we switch on to nutrition. So when it comes to nutrition, what are the most common mistakes that we women do unknowingly, and they have an impact on the long-term health?
Absolutely, yes. After going through the yoga, we have to get a little bit more deeper into the physical body. Yes, as women, we cook for everyone, we take care of everyone, we think of everyone. You think about what a woman is thinking, it's always about others.
About
Always
others.
schedule,
Absolutely. That's true.
family, husband, in laws, parents, kids. Our list doesn't stop. Again, we have to catch up with our friends, we have to be on the social media, we have to work, boss, subordinates, peers, everyone. We're just constantly working to cater for the outer world. So
Yes.
the most inner thing is ourself is missing out starts from your gut. So
Right.
ignoring the gut health is one of the biggest challenges in the health aspect coming from the nutritional perspective. Okay? So what you eat, how you eat, why you eat, everything matters.
Everything matters. And my doctor has recently told me that you need to take care of your gut after the brain because that's your second brain. So don't ever ignore it. That's very, very
Absolutely.
important.
Yes. So, secondly, I would say eating without awareness. I just said how you eat, right? So we're all in rush. We within the 24 hours framework, we have work of 36 hours. We try to squeeze everything
Right.
in. So what is that we compromise is on our food, is on our
Food.
sleep. Whatever we can squeeze, which nobody cares, is us. So we put that in the last. So we rush up and
That's
eat.
right.
So poor
Hmm.
eating habits is another issue which will definitely cause a long-term health issue. Okay, eating at wrong times. Okay,
Right.
night eating, all those things will definitely cause a lot of health issues. And overcomplicating the nutrition aspect. As a nutritionist, I am saying this. Oh, my protein intake is not up to the mark. Oh, my carb is so high. Just don't overhype it. Have a balanced meal, home cooked food, good
Right.
enough. Eating clean is the thing. So when you complicate the nutritional aspect also, it will affect you mentally. It's not only what you put into your system, is your system assimilating it? Is your system
Hmm.
taking it? All those
Hmm.
things matter along with your mental health, right?
Right.
So
Right. Absolutely.
that is also another thing. And emotional influence on eating. Am I eating for hunger? Am I eating for stress? Am I eating for my cravings? What is that I'm eating for? This is one of the aspects we have to watch out. Otherwise, we end up bulking up a lot with wrong timing, wrong things. Okay, and forgetting that food is more than nutrition. When I say
Right.
this, according to Ayurveda, we just don't eat to do the physical activities.
Hmm.
We eat to become who we are, right? So, who am I is not just my body, it's my mind, it's my soul. So I don't just feel, why am I so much worried about protein, carbs, and everything? Why? Because of the energy usage. But is it all? Is that all me? No, there's something beyond it. So the
Hmm.
30% of the food what we eat also defines our way of thinking, defines
Right.
the way how we respond to life. So food is beyond nutrition. It is the prana. It's the prana shakti.
Yes.
Are
Yes.
we really
That's.
taking it right? Are we really seeing food in that aspect? So
Hmm.
these are the things from the nutritional perspective is my pointers.
Right,
Okay.
absolutely. And I'm sure they're going to help us a lot. And somebody told me long back that when you're cooking, so what thoughts are there in your mind at that time? They are all going there in the food that you are, going to serve others. So you should be very, containing those positive and happy thoughts while cooking. And if you're cooking everything with anger and desperation and, a lot of all the negative things, so that is what you are transferring to the other's body as well. This thing,
Absolutely.
I just wanted to clarify if that is right. So I want you to, give your opinion also on that thing. And one more thing, that if you're hungry, take only 80% of the food and keep that 20% hunger aside. So
Yes.
80% should be taken and 20% should be kept aside कि नहीं इतना मतलब your tummy should not be 100% full, it should be 80% full at that time. So I want you to elaborate that also, because I've
Yes.
recently heard few of the things, so I want that okay, I'm listening to good things only and there's nothing wrong. I want that
Absolutely.
information from a nutritionist.
Yes. Yeah. The first point what you mentioned is the mindset of the person who cooks, right?
Yes.
It's mostly the women. So imagine what all we should manage in ourselves to pass on the energy. That is why I said women's wellness. I would not say health.
Hmm.
Wellness is so much important because
Hmm.
knowingly or unknowingly you're spreading it.
Yes.
Sometimes we eat food and we'll say we are irritated, we are angry, or we feel heavy and we don't know why. The next time you eat the same food, you feel okay, different. Why? It is the person who is cooking, their mindset, their
The
atmosphere,
energy.
their chaos in the mind, a lot of factors.
Right.
So what
Right.
you heard is absolutely true. So make sure when you're cooking next time, remember this. Remember what you're giving to your family.
I cook
So
very less, so I'm always in a happy mood when I do that. Because I do cooking only in the happy mood only. When I'm happy,
that's
then I cook.
excellent, excellent. So you're always giving the positive vibes for your
Yeah.
family. Wonderful. Yes. So as much as we can, the person who takes charge of cooking, please make sure you cook in the right mindset, right atmosphere.
Right.
I personally, when I'm cooking, especially in the mornings, it is rushing hours, breakfast to be prepared, lunch boxes to be packed. The best thing is I play Vishnu Sahasranama and start cooking. So
Hmm.
somewhere my mood gets better to what I'm listening and
Right.
parallelly I'm working. So this is a thing which I do. I mean, whatever works for you guys, implement it to keep your mental health at calm. And then you get into cooking so that you're transferring the
Yes,
right kind of energy into food, and definitely it gets passed on to your family.
that's
So
true.
your first question got answered, I guess. Yes,
Right.
it's very important.
Absolutely.
The second point, I think I just
80,
missed.
80% of the stomach should be full and
Will
20.
will again from the kitchen perspective, you just check out your mixer grinder, the jar. If you fill up 100%, you cannot grind it.
Right.
Why? It's the same as your human body. So you put only 80% and give the space for it to churn so that
Yes.
it gets churned properly. Otherwise, you're filling it completely airtight and you grind it, it's going to spill out.
Right.
So, and trust me, this body, the body what we have, is given for free. Do you agree? The
Hmm.
most luxurious and sophisticated system exceeding any AI tool today is given by us, by God, by divine. And how do we take care of it is our responsibility, right? So we should be very
Absolutely.
mindful about what we put in, how we put in into this. Because it is given for free, do not take it for granted. That is the advice I would give
Absolutely.
as a nutritionist.
Absolutely. That
Right?
that's the bang on the ultimate advice you have given. Don't take it for granted. You have
Yes.
been blessed to have that body, so never
Imagine
take
if
it
you
for
had to
granted.
pay maintenance for this body, which we will tend to if we ignore our health. But
Right.
right from birth, it's been free and it's doing every damn work without whether you notice or not, whether you instruct or not. Your breathing is happening, your heartbeat is happening, your blood flow is happening, your brain to body messages are coming. What else?
Hmm.
How much are you taking it for granted? Just imagine that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That is what we women do in the rush. We
Yeah.
ignore everything and we just keep moving on. So,
Correct.
just give me, like we talked about the challenges we face. We talked about the mistakes that we do. So now I want you to give some idea and some names of the traditional foods that you feel are the power superfoods that we all should take to have great strength and vitality.
Okay, so the power food. So being an Indian, so I talk from my kitchen rules. So the
Absolutely.
superfood, some of the I will say like six, seven superfoods which we find in our kitchen. The first one would be the Indian gooseberries, amla. Get into
Right.
your get into your routine. Put them in somewhere in your daily routine. It is
Hmm.
going to boost your immunity. Okay, so that is one superfood, and second one is ghee. Ghee is the easiest and the most available thing. Use ghee. So do not worry about putting on weight. Ghee will not make you put on weight. You will be putting on weight with all the other vegetable oils and other things. Ghee will not make you put on weight. It will
So
help
will
you.
it increase the cholesterol levels or
It is
affect the
good
weight?
cholesterol. You need that. Your body
Right.
naturally has a lot of it. It produces cholesterol, so you need it. So ghee supports it. It is
Right.
never the bad cholesterol.
The
So
good one.
ghee
Okay.
especially helps with the gut, gut health. So
Right.
it is one of the requirement of the gut health. Okay, so
Hmm.
the third one would be the sesame seeds, the till.
Okay.
Okay, it's packed. It's really packed with the magic, I would say. Use it
Hmm.
as much. Sprinkling around your subsies and all these things is good enough to get enough calcium, and you're worried about your calcium for your bone health, especially women.
Yes.
So it is
Hmm.
really good. In that case, moringa is also very good. The drumstick leaves, it's very good. And ragi, the finger millet, is really good with the calcium again, with the calcium and iron. So I did mention about amla, ghee, moringa,
Sesame
and
seeds.
sesame seeds and finger millets, right?
Right.
What else can I think of is soaked almonds. That is another power packed food. And it's a quick to eat. You don't have
Hmm.
to think too much about cooking it. It's readily available to eat. So soaked would be even more better. Okay.
And what about, sorry, please you continue. I'll ask
No,
later.
no, no, no. You please. It's okay. The one more thing I had in my mind was turmeric. Use turmeric.
Okay.
It is good for anti-inflammatory. A lot of women face issues with bloating. So when
Yes.
you wake up, your face is swollen, you feel bloated, you feel gassy. So turmeric is
Hmm.
very good with that.
I actually wanted to ask about makhanas because they have taken over the market and they are too much in these days. So, what do you have to say about that?
I told you right, especially with this, the market industry of the nutrition, all of a sudden some things go to the peak, some days, after some days it comes down. Nobody talks about it.
Hmm. Hmm.
So
Hmm.
I would not, Makanas is really good, but it is not just a seasonal thing. It has been there from then. It's just
Yes,
that the realization has come to peak now. So
absolutely. That's true. That's true.
these are all the Indian things which our ancestors used. It is not
Hmm.
something new to us.
New.
I mean,
That's
we make it modernized and pick it up, especially the protein powders and so many supplements thing they talk about. It's absolutely 2 years, it'll be up on the graph, and again after that, you don't even get to hear about it.
Hmm. Hmm.
They don't go for such things. You have magic in your kitchen, in your basic ingredients. Use your spices well.
Right.
So are the best things what you can use, the tools, the healthiest tools in your kitchen to use.
Absolutely. And shall we keep on, like many people, they keep say the same thing, that we should keep on changing the oil if we are using the refined oil or any other sort of oil. So we should keep on changing it after some time. We should not stick to one particular brand only throughout, for our lives. So keep on changing that. So is it true that it has to be done this way
You
only?
can have a rotation. So 1 month you use this, the next month you use that, and third month you can go back to the first month what you used. So
Hmm.
see how it reacts to your body. So again, we cannot cook for one person. We have to see how it reacts to the whole family, right?
Right.
See, all rotation is good, but you have to see for the overall health of the family, and it is good. You can have two products and rotate it. 1, 3, 5, 7 is one product. 2, 4, 6, 8 is another oil. You can go ahead and try that.
Right, absolutely. And the most important thing is to know your body, what suits your body, what is good for your body. So to
Absolutely.
know that, which is what do you think is, according to you, is the first step towards it? When you want to know your body, okay, I have problems, I have issues, I want to get into a healthy lifestyle. I want to incorporate some good healthy eating habits in my life, but I don't know what suits my body. So how will I come to know about my body? What is the first step towards it?
First step, as I mentioned, is your gut health. Your gut will react because what is put in, it will be processed, and your
Hmm.
system tells you whether it likes it, whether it is able to assimilate it, whether it is able to take enough nutrient from it. So the only thing is observe. When you fall sick, just analyze what did you do the past 2 days.
Right.
What was your lifestyle in the past 2 days? Like, when did I sleep? Did I drink enough water? What did I eat?
Hmm. Hmm.
Analyze. Did I take enough breaks? Am I did I sleep well? So analyze yourself. The first thing which will be indicator will be your gut health. As
Right.
your doctor rightly mentioned, it is your second brain and will start to react immediately. It will show
Hmm.
signals, it will give you signals. But again, without rushing us, we do not have time to hear to any signals. When somebody shouts at us, we hear. But when our body is telling us from inside, we have no patience because we have
We
100
never do
things to
that.
do the list. That is
That's
where yoga comes hand in hand. When you practice yoga, your body will scream out so loud, the world quietens up, and you hear yourself more louder than the outside world.
hmm. Hmm. Absolutely. That's true. That's true. Absolutely true. And as we talk about the rush hours, I think that is the time when something, the stress and everything affects our health the most at that time, because that is what happened with me also a few years back, that I used to, like, I'm into service and all, so I used to get up early, cook food for everyone, pack tiffins, and then go for job. So during that time I used to get a lot of panic attacks कि ये भी करना है, वो भी रह गया, वो भी रह गया, ये भी करना है, which really affected my gut badly. And till date I'm working on making it more better, and doing all kind of stuff, all kind of things for it. So the rush hours, they affect a woman's health really badly, but still, we have that guilt inside us that, oh, if we'll take out time from for ourselves, we are going to be little selfish in that thing. And how can we be selfish? That time belongs to my son, my daughter, my family. So how can they learn to prioritize self-care without feeling selfish?
Okay. So it has to start somewhere small. Somewhere small so that you taste what is actual self care means.
Right.
Self care means not going for a spa or a saloon and then you feel guilty about, oh, I waste. We don't feel that, right? We feel it to be an essential part of our presentation, right?
Actually. Hmm.
Right? Why? Because we feel it is important how I look to the world, right?
Hmm.
When we can prioritize so much of the outer look, if I'm draining out inside, what do I do to the other people in my family? I'm going to even make their life worse, right?
So
So,
true. So
considering
true.
your family itself, you have to take time out for yourself.
Right.
So that
Right.
your family is, if you are sane, you can keep your family happy. If your mindset is going here and there, you cannot be good to your family. They will
True.
be more irritated with you.
Hmm.
So
That's so true.
earlier we identify to pause for a little, take time and get the taste of how it feels to actually do our self-care. Then
Hmm.
we understand and then we become more consistent and keeping that 1 hour routine. For me, that 1 hour of morning yoga workouts is the thing. If I don't do it, I am not prepared for the day because my cup is not full. So unless my cup is
Absolutely.
full, I cannot give anybody anything. So
Yes.
by the time it's evening, I am screaming at everyone for every small thing. So what is that I'm contributing? Neither I am happy nor I'm keeping anybody happy. So
Nor
the
I'm
first
keeping.
thing is
That's
me.
so true.
It's
Hmm.
definitely not selfish. It is the self-care. Consider your family members so that if they are happy, you should be happy first for them to be happy.
Yes, that's true. And I'm going to share the last question with you, but before that, just give me 1 second because my
Sure.
battery is running very low. I'll just connect it with the
I
chargers.
think same
Just
with me as well. Me too.
hi. I'm so sorry about this thing. It just went off, and I'm so sorry about that.
No problem, Shweta. That's okay. It's okay. We're all humans. Happens.
So we were talking about
You
nutrition
wiggling off.
and women, of course, giving priority to themselves. That is something very important without thinking that they are being selfish when they are taking care of their own self. So as a woman and as a wellness practitioner, what does true wellness truly means to you beyond just the physical fitness?
Absolutely. So, as I already mentioned, for me, health is not only this physical body. It is not being away from diseases. It's not good health. It's not enough to call yourself you're in good health.
Right.
Okay. So you have to consider your physical vitality, like your energy levels. The body is strong enough. well nourished and all those things. Your emotional balance. How are you able to navigate life's challenges? Are you doing it with resilience and calmness? So that matters. And third one is your mental clarity. How peaceful are you feeling? How focused are you feeling when you're working rather than being in constant stress and overwhelm for everything? Okay. And the next one is the conscious living. How consciously am I making choices in my life? Am I doing it with awareness or I'm doing with the rush mentality? Or is it for the short term conveniences am I doing? So
Hmm.
that awareness we have to bring in, and interconnection, your body to mind, your inner self. How connected are you? Overall, these five aspects put together forms your complete health. I would not say health, it's your wellness.
Wellness.
Yes.
That's true. That's true. So, Rashmi, the session that we had today that talked about women and womanhood in totality. What is our responsibility towards ourselves? That is also something that we need to focus upon, that we need to really take care of that, because we know we are responsible mothers, we are responsible daughters, we are responsible wives. But when it comes to our own self, we become so irresponsible and so casual about the things that we
Absolutely.
forget everything else and about ourselves, and we are just focusing on the rest of the world, what is going around ourselves, what is there in the world, how we have to cater to that. Am I being a good wife? मैं कहीं कुछ गलत ना कर दूं, मेरी कहीं रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी गलत खराब ना हो, खत्म ना हो जाए, या all these sort of questions एंड एप्रीहेंशंस आर देयर इन अ माइंड. पर कभी अपने लिए हम नहीं सोचते हैं कि मेरा मेरे लिए क्या फर्ज है, कि मैं खुद, लाइक
Absolutely.
आई एम एन इंडिविजुअल, आई एम एन आइडेंटिटी इन माई सेल्फ. So, what is important for myself? And today you have elaborated and gave us such nice tips and suggestions, and your experience that you have shared with us is, I think, the most fruitful kind of a session that I had till now, till date, on any page or story scrapers or anywhere else also. So it was really wonderful listening to you, Rashmi. It was an eye opener kind of a session. We learned so much from you, and we keep that. I just hope that everyone who has listened to you, they will continue to live their life the way you have suggested, the way you have guided us, and they become a better human beings first. And then, of course, if you are a better human being, then everything around you is going to be happy and gay. So you don't have to worry about that if you are happy from inside. So thank you
Absolutely.
so much, Rashmi, for
Most welcome.
such a wonderful session. It was great having you here on our platform.
It's my
And
pleasure.
it was really an immense honor for us that you have come here today and shared your experiences with us. And we hope that we all continue to support each other, respect each other, and celebrate the womanhood as we have been doing it. So thank you so much on behalf of the page, on behalf of the entire team. I thank you, and I thank all the people who have joined us in this session. It feels really great when you connect with people and when you can, share your ideas ahead to many other minds also. So thank you so
Thank you,
much,
Shweta.
Rashmi.
Thank
Great
you
having
for
you.
having me. The final thing what I want to say is everybody says that quote, I can die for my family. I would say start living for your family. Do the right choices for your family.
Right,
That is
right.
the thing. Rather than
That's
dying for them, live well for them.
yes,
That is very
yes,
important. So especially the
absolutely.
women.
Yes,
So, all
absolutely.
the
So,
women out there, please give time for yourself. Take care of yourself. Only when you fill yourself, you can give a lot than what you're doing right now. So, do
yes,
take care. So you give time for yourself. You gain power to transform many lives. Trust me. So that's the
that's
theme
so
of the Women's Day as well. So give to gain. So this is my small message to you all. Happy Women's Day to all of you. Thank you so much for
sweet.
having me, Shraddha. And a big thanks to Sarita as well from the Story Scrapers team. Thank you so much.
And thank you for the smile that you brought on my face during that few second session that I
Oh
had
yeah,
with
please
you.
continue to do that breathing and hugging yourself.
Sure, sure. I'm never going to stop that. I'm never going to stop that. Thank you so
Absolutely.
much. So
Thank you,
wishing
Shraddha.
you and wishing everyone a very thoughtful and empowering Women's Day. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for
Thank
joining
you.
us. Stay happy, stay smiling.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.